Hello, fellow players of Hero Wars. I'm Jay. Welcome to Jay vs. Hero Wars. Today I'll be talking about how I approach the Archdemon right when it comes to the Hero Wars birthday event. I'll also talk about, what kind of goes into determining whether you can use patronage or, what heroes you can use. So, without further ado, let's check it out. Alright guys, so here we are in game. We have a couple of things that I want to touch on in case people are new to this Archdemon, birthday cake event. I want to break it down so it's explained so everyone can understand it and is on the same page. So the first thing to note is about pets. So when we have pets, you have patronage, and my understanding is that for the purposes of this event, you need your pets to be at least blue to be able to activate patronage. As you can see, mine are all purple, so I'm good. But if you get yours to purple, if you get yours to blue, they should be okay. If your pet is only at a white or green level, sadly, you most likely will not be able to use patronage for your pets because blue is really where you need to be able to even attach a pet to a hero. Now, if we're talking about heroes and access to heroes, for heroes, you need to have the hero summoned, which means that, if you have something up here that says, you can now summon a hero, you need to summon them so that you're able to have access to them when you're battling the Archdemon. And some people wanted me to point this out as well, and I will do that now. So in the merchant, right, there are two new heroes available in the Guild Wars shop, right? So if you go to valuables, Arachne and Yasmin are now available. Before it was only Ju and Ziri. There's also another two new characters that have been added to another merchant in the Tournament of Elements, right? So in Titan Valley, this merchant guy right here for certificate exchange, and Vari and Sebastian soulstones have been added in exchange for certificates, which prior, right, it was only Kark and Nebula, so now there are more options. So now you're able to potentially get heroes that you weren't able to access before, and so I just want to make sure that everyone is aware that those 4 heroes now are available in their prospective merchants. So now that we've gotten all of that stuff out of the way, the last thing I want to touch on is manual battling, because this is always an important topic. So Q, right, let's say my arena team, I haven't really looked at arena all day, but let's say with an arena team, I want to activate my pet Oliver, right? Oliver's skill is loaded up and ready to go. If I hit the letter Q, right, that will access Oliver's ability and allow Oliver to ult. For Astaroth, Astaroth will be number 5. This will be number 4 for my Kark. Nebula will be number 3. Number 2 will be Sebastian, and number 1 will activate Martha's skills respectively, right? So pretty straightforward. And even if a hero gets knocked out, those numbers do not change, right? So Kark will still be number 4, Nebula will still be number 3, and so on and so forth. So that is how that works for your manual battling. Now going into the cake. So to get all 7 pieces of cake and get all of these rewards, right? All 6 of these rewards, you need to battle the Archdemon once every single day. So every first attack will grant you 1 piece of the cake. And so a couple things to note here. One is when you're going in, right, you actually can see the rewards, right, that you can potentially get for 300 million damage. And another thing, right, so for newer players who've never done this before, you can actually see what top teams usually use. And this is the exact same top team as I talked about last year in my video, as well as the preview video, which was a Ju, Mojo, Sebastian, Dorian, and Martha team, right? And so we can look at that. You can actually see, right? So these are the rankings for the highest score on, a single matchup. And you can simply click info, and you can see the breakdown of the matchup and see exactly where all that damage came from. You can even, right, if you click on this watch battle replay, you can see the matchup happen in real time. I personally will not do that right now, but you can see it's pretty uniform. The teams are almost all the same. A lot of it comes down to timing, as well as if Albus is able to get his ult off, because Albus, right, basically stockpiles the amount of damage that's done by the team while he's charging. So if Albus is not able to have his charge go off, then you lose a little bit of damage. So it just makes sense that, there's going to be a little bit of disparity here. But ultimately, I've seen, for the most part, 175 to 600 million damage, right? I'm going to rounding up generously here. I guess 550 million when it comes to damage from this one team alone. And so we're going to have Ju, right? We have Ju, we need Mojo, Dorian, Martha, Sebastian. Definitely passed some of the characters. Where is Granny Martha? And we're missing another one. Martha and Mojo. So Mojo's not a character I use often, so I usually skip over him. Let's find him. Mojo, where are you at? Mojo, and we need Martha. Then we, of course, need Albus, right? And right now I've had 0 patronage attached that I'm aware of. So to attach patronage, all you need to do is hit Control, and then click on the hero, and then you're able to attach patronage just like that. So for Ju, we want Albus, so we're going to go ahead and have that switched out. For Sebastian, we're going to want, and you can see now, right, when I scroll down, Ju is attached to Albus. For Sebastian, we want Fenris, so let's go ahead and do that. Then for Mojo, we want Mara attached. So there's Mara. I actually just pulled an absolute Mara today. I almost lost my voice earlier today in excitement. Here we have Dorian, right? And so Dorian, I want Axel attached here. And finally, we have Martha, who needs Oliver. And just like that, we're all set and ready to go. I personally will not be doing the nitty gritty. I'm just going to go ahead and auto speed up combat here and just let it do its thing. So I probably won't score, 500 mil, but I only need 300 mil to get all the rewards. And personally, that's all I'm interested in. I don't need the high score. I don't need to, do anything extra. I just want to get all the rewards. And it's really all I can ask for in terms of how I'm approaching this event. I just want to maximize getting all my rewards. Not really worried about, too much more than that. So here we can see we're doing pretty well. We're about, we got 3 minutes left. We've got over 50 million damage. Good start. Sebastian sadly got taken out there. But, our damage dealers, Ju and Mojo, are still holding strong. We have now passed the 100 mil mark. I'm hoping that we can get around, 200 to 300 would be nice. Sadly, Mojo just got taken down there. Ju's still holding strong. Albus is doing well as well. So we're well above 200 now. So anything extra is just, nice because, I'm not really kind of putting in too much work here. It looks like we might get close enough to get to 300 mil in one hit, which would be amazing because that saves work on my end in terms of having to fight. But I do still want to, for players who maybe don't have all these characters, I want to show a couple of other teams that, maybe won't perform as well as this top team. This is just a known team, known entity. It was the same team last year. It's just the most popular team. It has, has the best rate against the Archdemon. So here you can see we got our one slice of the cake for battling the Archdemon once today. So I will get another one tomorrow. So that's the first piece there. And for players who maybe don't know, what other heroes to use, one team that I found to be decent, granted it's not going to come, it's not going to score 100 mil. If people have suggestions, feel free to throw them in comments so other people can use them if it's not that exact same lineup, because I know it's very hard to have all those characters, especially when you're starting out. But, if you have all the characters, or if you got lucky enough to pull Cleaver, this might be a decent team as well. So I have Cleaver with Peppy. They're a nice combo. They really feed off one another. and they seem to do pretty well. I also had Maya in this pack of heroes. Let me find her. Maya. We had Ginger and we had Phobos. So Ginger deals nice amount of damage, and Phobos has been revamped, which allows him to deal more damage as well as kind of heal a little bit. So pretty interesting to see here. I guess I'll attach Patronage. Patronage is important. Oops. Where did Cleaver go? See, Cleaver's here. So let's see. Who can I attach Patronage to? We can attach Maya. We'll give her Axel. Let's see what we can do for Ginger. So it doesn't look like Ginger can be attached, or I messed up something there. Find her. All right, I'm just gonna. I mean, if that happens again, with any of these like Phobos, okay, we're just gonna go ahead and give him Merlin, Peppy, give Mara to her, and I don't. Cleaver can. Okay, we'll give Cleaver. We'll give him Oliver. Ginger. Let's see, we will give Fenris to her. So we'll go ahead and run it real quick. But I remember this team. So on my newer account, I did about 40 million damage with this team. You know, is it 300 million in one hit? No. But let's say you were able to pull off 200 mil or 175 mil, and you need a little bit extra. This should definitely be a team that could help. At least in my opinion, it deals a decent amount of damage. We'll see if it can still deal 40 million damage. But with the team that I actually used, I didn't have any patronage, so I still scored around 40 million, which was really good. So we'll see how it goes. But so far we've got about 15 million here. I have one other lineup that will score around 25 mil for players who still need points. Because I realize it is a tough event for newer players because you don't have as many heroes unlocked, or maybe patronage isn't available to you, and patronage makes a huge difference. I've seen with the top team, I've seen again anywhere from 150 to 550 mil, and a lot of that is based off of patronage. Some of it is off of not owning the right skins. Some of it's not timing. So there's a lot of factors that go into it. But you can see here, so we've surpassed 40 million. But yeah, I'm not going to expect everyone to have patronage to be able to have extra oomph to their attacks. But here we were able to do a good amount of damage with this team. So we were able to do 50 million damage. So I'll just run one more for you guys, especially for people who maybe haven't figured out how to maybe progress and are just trying to get some points at this point because they want to do their best in this event, and it's it's a tough event because if you don't have all the heroes and you don't have patronage, it's definitely an uphill battle. So this is a team that I used that did 25 million damage. That's nothing to sneeze at, especially if I didn't have any patronage attached. Here I'm going to potentially, but we had actually I won't do it. I won't put any patronage. We'll see how it goes. So we got Heidi, Elmer, Celeste, Aurora, and Marcus. And so there's a little bit of, based off of how well Aurora dodges, that can definitely be a factor. Then Marcus's timing with his invincibility shield can definitely play a part, as well as his healing. So there are some variables here, but this team was actually pretty good. And so I'm going to use it. And that will probably be the last team that I'm going to use because I don't want to take up too much time in this video. But I definitely wanted to show some alternative teams as well because I know, I know this happened last year too with newer players who didn't have, they didn't have Jew, they didn't have Dorian. Some of those heroes are harder to obtain. So it just makes sense to have alternative teams for players who maybe don't have all those heroes, and show them some alternative teams that can still deal a decent amount of damage, and try to get as many rewards as possible as well. Because, at the end of the day, we're just trying to help everyone out. So if you guys have teams that you really like that are not, one of the three teams that I mentioned, feel free to put them in the comments to help out our fellow Hero Wars players. And yeah, I will definitely check those teams out as well. So here we've got over 11 million damage done. I have 0 patronage, as you guys saw, right? I didn't put any on there. So unless, yeah, I don't think I did. So, we're doing pretty well here. 13 mil damage. Of course, we got 2 minutes left. Elmer got knocked out a little bit early, unfortunately. But Heidi actually deals a lot of damage and can be sneaky because of the poison over time effect that I think it's a she has. But anyway, Heidi's pretty decent. Definitely a sneaky damage dealer. Probably not a great main damage dealer, but definitely a sneaky one right there. Ever since her rework and newer skins have been made her a potential asset. So here we're over 20 million damage. And again, I did not use any patronage, so I would call that pretty solid. And we're at 23 mil. Not going to quite get to 25 mil, it looks like. But, hey, we got 24 million damage. That's still pretty good. And hopefully that gives you guys some ideas if you don't have all the heroes available to you. And hopefully this is a nice little overview of the approach to the birthday cake. Basically, you're going to be doing the same thing day in, day out. Just make sure you continue to do your, daily hits so you can collect these pieces of cake. And don't forget to collect your rewards. I wasn't going to forget, but I'm going to go ahead and do it now. And yeah, so this will reset, and these will be different prizes each day. But in terms of, other than the buffs changing, right, which might change how the scores are a little bit, right? So you can see here when we're looking, you see these little marks in the top right hand corner indicate that there's some kind of buff helping those heroes out. So that is another indicator and something you should be aware of when you are trying to go through this event. And of course, here, right, it tells you select the attackers, deal as much damage to the Archdemon as possible in a limited time. I believe it's 5 minutes. Each hero can participate in the boss battle once per day. The patron pets of the selected heroes will be upgraded to max level, assuming I believe you have blue unlocked. So again, should be a fun event. It's going to be a little bit repetitive after a while, but I think it's going to be worth it because of these rewards right here. I personally am a frame junkie. I love frames, so this will be really cool. Plus, you basically get 3 free skins or the equivalent in terms of skin stones. So this should be a nice little event. You also get 100 hero soul stones. So all in all, should be a fun one, guys. Hopefully you guys are able to participate daily and get all of the rewards. But with that being said, thank you so much for watching this video. Feel free to leave a thumbs up and subscribe, and I look forward to seeing you all in Dominion.